Hello guys, welcome back. This is Deepika from mytutorialrack.com, and so far we have seen how to create fields and creating validation rule, Apex classes, service classes, things like that. Now let's go ahead and see how Cursor can also create an Apex trigger for you. So what this Apex trigger is going to do is we're going to create this trigger on the opportunity object, and we will also create a trigger handler. So if you remember, we do have a field called last 90-day wins available on the account object. So through this trigger, we will populate the value of this field, and the way to populate it, it will look at all the opportunities which are in closed won status in the last 90 days and what are the amount of those opportunities. So whatever is the amount, it will roll up that amount to this particular field. So for example, if there are 3 opportunities tied to the account and 2 of them have been in the closed won status in last 90 days, and if one opportunity amount is 50,000, the other one is 100,000, then on this field you should see a value of 150,000 because it has rolled up those 2 opportunities which are in closed won status and they closed in the last 90 days. Okay. And then what I'm doing is I'm also recalculating the account health via this particular account health service update health score. So after they have updated it, we are going to call this particular method, which is the update health scores method, which we created in the previous tutorial. So the same prompt, I have written it in my notepad. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this. And this is what the prompt says. Implement a bulk safe opportunity trigger and trigger handler that rolls up closed won amounts from the last 90 days to the parent account field, which is this is the name of the field. And then it is asking you to recalculate the account health via this account health service. So it is going to do both the things. It is going to recalculate the health score, and it is also going to populate the last 90-day wins. Okay. So let's go ahead and copy this exact prompt here, and we will go to the cursor, and inside of the cursor, I'm going to go ahead and hit enter, and we are going to good to go here. So let's see what it does behind the scenes. So right now I have these classes. I have one class and it's a test class. Now it is going to create a trigger for me. So let's go ahead and close everything else that we don't need. And right now, this is the trigger. Right now, it's completely empty. Now it is going to create the trigger. We're going to accept these changes, whatever it is doing, and opportunity trigger and a trigger handler. Okay. So you can see here it created the opportunity trigger. So whatever those usual methods that should be there in the trigger, it has it. It has trigger.isAfter, is update, is delete. So it has all these methods. And then it is also going to create the opportunity trigger handler for you. So I'm going to go ahead and look at classes, and it has the opportunity trigger handler. Inside of this, there is a method called handle after update. So anytime an opportunity amount is updated or anything is changed, check if the stage amount or close date changed. If any of these things changed, then what it is going to do is it is going to add those opportunity into this relevant opportunity list. And then if it is not empty, it is going to process those opportunities. And what it is doing is it is basically figuring out the account IDs from those opportunities. And then it is adding on to this account IDs list here. It's not a list, it's a set of IDs. And then if it is not empty, it is going to roll up the last 90 days win. So what is this roll up 90 days win is? It is basically aggregating the amount that is available on these closed won opportunity, and it is calculating the sum of those amount, and it is populating it onto the 90 days field that is available on the account object. Okay, that is what this is doing. And once this roll up is done, the next thing is it is also calling the update health scores method. Okay, so let's go ahead and deploy this. So far this has not been deployed, and we will go ahead and deploy the trigger and the trigger handler classes to the mydev org. This is the name of our org. So I'm going to go ahead and deploy it to the mydev org. So it's going to go ahead and deploy these changes, and then we will test if it is working as expected. So it's going to run the MCP tool. In order for it to deploy it to the org, it ran the MCP tool here. Okay. So this is what it is doing. Username of the org is this, mydev, the username or alias is this one. And then deployment has been successful. And these are the 2 basically one trigger and one Apex class has been successfully deployed. Okay, now how do I test it? So the way to test it is if you go over to the account object and if you open up any of these accounts and let's see what is the value of the health last 90 days right now. It is completely blank right now. And you can see here health score is 60. So now let's go ahead and see if there is any opportunity tied to it. So there is no opportunity tied to it. So we'll go ahead and create an opportunity. Stride gear opportunity 1 and stage, we will put it directly under closed 1 here, and close date is within the last 90 days. So I'm going to do this. Amount is, let's say, 100,000, and let's go ahead and hit save. Okay, expected pairs. This is just a field I have. So opportunity. So now you can see here, if you go over to the details, you can see the last 90-day win has been updated to 100,000. Okay, so you can see here. Now, if I add another opportunity, so I'm going to go ahead and add another opportunity here, and the amount would be 50,000. And close date is going to be today's date. Stage is also going to be closed 1. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Opportunity name is Stride Gear Opportunity number 2. Hit save. So I'm expecting even this to be round up onto this field. So if I go here, you can see last 90-day wins have been successfully updated. Okay. So this has been taken care of. That is being rolled up. Now, if there is an opportunity which does not belong to the closed one, it will not account for it. Okay. So here I'm going to go ahead and just create the opportunity in the prospecting stage. We will call it as Stride Gear Opportunity number 3, and this is the amount. I'm going to go ahead and put 50,000, but this is not in the closed one stage. So I'm not expecting this to be rolled up. So I will leave it as it is. So it hasn't changed. It stays at 150,000. So this is working as expected, and you got the last 90 days win here. So now here you can see the health score is 50, and the last 90-day wins is 150,000. And based on this last 90-day wins, you are seeing that if it is last 90 days greater than 100,000, you're getting 50 points. You can see here health score has been 50. Now, if you go and update one of these opportunity amount, and let's say we change this to something else. Okay, so we go ahead and change it to, you can see here, greater than 100,000 is 50 points. And if you make it less than 100,000, it is 30 points. So right now, let's go ahead and do this one, only $1,000 opportunity. This is going to update your account last 90 days. So you can see here, if you refresh this, it is going to update your last 90 days, and it did. It made it 51,000, and the health score has also been updated to 80. You can see here, whatever the value was, it basically added that 30 onto it and it updated it to 80. So your health score is also getting recalculated, as well as your this last 90-day wins is also getting calculated. So this particular trigger that we created, it is working as expected. So two things this trigger is doing. The first thing is it is basically calculating the last 90-day wins. And the way it is calculating the last 90-day win is basically rolling up all the opportunities which are in closed one and they closed in the last 90 days. Whatever the amount on those opportunity ones, it is adding it up and putting it under the last 90-day wins. Once it has done that, it is also updating the health score. So you can see here in the previous section, we talked about if the last 90-day wins was in between the range of 25 to 100,000, we were getting 30 points. And whatever the annual revenue was, then based on the annual revenue, if you go back to the account record, the annual revenue on this one, you can see here let me check the annual revenue. Okay, so it's million, right? More than I would say this is a million. So if the annual revenue is more than a million, you were getting 50 points. So this 50 points plus this 50 points, addition of these two becomes 80 points. Okay. Now, similarly, if I change the annual revenue, now changing the annual revenue is not going to change the health score because this field is not being updated. There is no trigger on the account object, right? So here, if I change the annual revenue to 50,000 and hit save, you will see that the health score hasn't been updated. But if you go to any of the related opportunity, and if you go ahead and update the amount on this opportunity, okay, and if you go ahead and change the amount of this 50 to, let's say you make it 500,000, now what will happen is your health score will also get updated. So if you go to the details, refresh it, right now it's 80. Let's see what will be the new value. So two things are getting updated here. The health score has been updated to 60, and then the last 90-day wins has also been updated to 501,000. Okay, so the trigger is working as expected. It is updating the last 90-day wins correctly, as well as it is also updating your health score correctly. So I hope this is crystal clear. I'm going to see you in the next video. Thank you.